right. Thank you, everyone, for coming to the October 7th, 2020 community meeting, Octant community meeting. Today we're going to cover some, like, what's coming up with the new release, and also we're going to talk about some design stuff. I don't know if Isha and Lindsay want to go first, if they have other meetings they need to run to, or if they want to hang out for the upcoming release talk.
I'm free for the whole hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Well, then we'll get right into it, and we'll start talking about this upcoming release. So we have got a bug fix release coming out. It's O.16.1. Lots of good bug fixes here. A lot of people right after O.16. Most of these were reported as new things. There's a couple regressions in there that are getting fixed, and just some quality of life stuff that's kind of been hanging out for a while that we've managed to get in here. So I wanted to just quickly step through. There'll be full release notes as with all of our releases. And this release is going to get cut today. The last PR just got merged in. So we're right after this community meeting, we'll start building this release and get it published. So we're fixing the namespace switcher. That was the issue where if you were viewing something that wasn't a resource in the cluster and you switch namespaces, so like say you're reviewing events, you switch namespaces, you get redirected back up to the namespace overview for the thing you just switched to instead of seeing the new events for the namespace you switched to. So Sam fixed that. Now, also, like if you're in a plugin menu, things like that, you switch namespaces, it doesn't bounce you up to this completely different context. So got that fixed for folks. There was some plugins that we broke accidentally when we revved the version of Markdown library we were using. There was a security issue in that version that was fixed where they started to use the security context. And as a result, the behavior that was being depended on broke, which was you could just put HTML into a markdown and it would render. So we've explicitly enabled that option now. You can flag your text component as trusted content. And so if you use markdown with the trusted content flag, then it will render HTML. Script tags still will not work. They'll be flagged as unsafe and show up as such in the output. As a result of that, our own internal page, our not found page, the backlink on that is broken. But we're going to be fixing that differently because we're going to be using the Electron method for going back. So that won't really matter to us. Log scrolling stays focused when switching containers or follows. That it was bouncing back up to the top. Client ID is now part of action request. Fixing the tab names overriding for plugins is been resolved. It's the breadcrumb title generation stuff was in there, but it just wasn't rendering right depending on what type of plugin you were using or what type of view you were using. So if you were just rendering out a plain content response with like a card in it, a lot of the times the breadcrumb title generation wasn't there, but then you would add a tab and it would show up. So Sam fixed that. We fixed the YAML highlighting, which got broken when we moved the YAML apply into a modal. And then we've also addressed the default listener address is now 127.0.0.1 instead of localhost. This was more of just a pinning it to an IP instead of a host name, mainly because there's a couple people who muck around with their host file and sometimes their local host gets out of sync and then Octant won't run. So this just ensures that pretty much universally 127 is available wherever you go. So, and so that is what's coming out in the next release. There might have been something I missed, Sam or Milan, I'm not sure, but if I did, it'll be in the release notes. And so yeah, I really want to say thank you to Sam on this. Sam, I think, did all of these except one, I think. So it was he went really hard on the bug fixes, and it was really great. So thank you very much, Sam. That's awesome. And that is it for 016.1. So, any questions there before we move on? All right, cool. So, moving on, I'm going to stop the share for a minute. We have design stuff to talk about. Design. All sorts of design. So Isha and Lindsay are here to introduce themselves and kind of talk about what's going to be happening with some of the upcoming design efforts for Octant.
I'll go first and then I'll introduce Isha, who's going to be leading the research and design work coming up this week or this month. I'm Lindsay Okainiki. I'm based in Toronto and I am the product design lead for the developer management program. And I am working with Isha to do some baseline user and workflow discovery research work over the next couple 4 weeks. In addition to that, we hope to look through some of the most important UX fixes that we can get to get some quick iterations in there while we do this research work to help improve the user experience in Octant. But what we're looking for from the community is your feedback. So we are looking for some participation from you all to to talk to us about some of your pain points, some general feedback, and we hope to in the next week have a further defined proposal on GitHub that we can reference for you all to look at how we're progressing through this research over the next couple weeks. And there you'll find how to contact Isha and myself and start this ball rolling for getting some of these feedback cycles going for you all. So I'll pass it off to Isha to introduce herself. She and I have been working for a couple of years together now, and she will be leading this research effort for the next couple of weeks.
Thanks, Lindsay, for the overview. Hi, everybody. I'm Isha. I was previously on, I don't know if you use Concourse, but I was previously on the Concourse team, and I worked on another CI/CD tool within an organization. And now I'm here to help support some of the research for Octant. Like Lindsay said, we are looking for everyone's feedback. So in the next couple of weeks, in the Octant channel, look out for links to like surveys. We're looking to have like one-on-one discussions with you all. So if you're interested, it's a great opportunity for you to share how you're using Octant and to give us some feedback on how we can improve it. So just watch out for that in the channel. We're still getting everything together, but we're looking forward to talking with all of you and getting some feedback.
We'll certainly be coming to the community meetings, so we can give you a little update on how we've been progressing if you're not following along with the GitHub issues. And that will be another touch point for you to contact us and also just find out how we're progressing through our research.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we'll try to like publish like our findings and what we're learning as well, just to be transparent with the rest of the community and keep everybody in the loop.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, it's great to have you all on board, and we're really excited. We know that Octant could definitely use some help in the design department, so I think our users will be really excited about it as well.
Awesome. We're really excited, and like I worked on Concourse as well with Isha for a couple of years. So these radiator status dashboards are kind of our jam. So this is a really cool product, and like we're really excited to kick off this work. So thank you, Wayne. You all have been very welcoming. So we're excited to work with you all.
Awesome. Excellent. So yeah, like I said, keep an eye out for that kind of stuff. I imagine it will come in the form of the Slack channel and GitHub issues and looking for feedback there. So, and if you're interested, before any of that stuff gets posted, if you know that you're going to be interested in providing feedback, feel free to reach out before you see anything, and we'll get you in touch with everybody and start to capture some of your input. So the next item we have is the let's see, it is the navigation. Yeah, let's take a look at that. So it's 11:53. Milan, were you going to do a demo, or did you just want me to show what was in the issue?
I was actually thinking giving a demo.
Excellent. All right. Well, let me stop sharing, and you can take
a few different things that changed since I updated it. So. All right. Let me share. Can you see my screen?
Yes, but it is.
Oh, it's
very small.
Screen. Yeah.
Or your head is big.
All right. Is this better?
Yep, that's better.
All right. So yeah, so we did this effort the last couple of weeks. I think I worked on it, and it's a great time to do that today because we have designers on the call. So hopefully you guys have some feedback for us. But the basic issue we were trying to solve is our navigation was just getting a little too big, especially in compressed mode when it was collapsed. So the two things you will notice right away that at the very top there is no more collapse expand button, and also at the bottom we removed the theme switch button, and they are not available right now by default. Eventually we will put those in preferences, but right now you can access them using the keyboard shortcuts. There's a couple shortcuts I created. So if I do toggle navigation is so the new navigation still supports the collapse state. It's kind of similar to the way it used to be. It's just much shorter. There's not as many items in the list as it used to be. And on the left side, we have modules, and we expanded modules a little bit compared to the old one. Previously, we only had 2 or 3 modules, and they were separated by separators. And now each plugin has its own module. So plugin others can use that to build a little more rich UIs. And this is the only problem I don't like right now. If as a plugin user, you don't specify the icons, we use default icons, which is home. So that's probably not the best choice. But so if you're out there, plugin order, please use icons. And so even in compressed mode, they will show up. So that is pretty much it. I think this is ready to go, unless there's any more feedback that we receive. So I'm opening it really for discussion. If you guys have anything that stands out, please let us know. I'm ready to do PR on this as soon as we release the 16.1. So.
And what was can you toggle between the expanded for the like that plugin view where it was all the same icon? I'm just curious what it looks like when it's toggled
yes,
out.
Absolutely. Yeah. So if I toggle here, so we just replace the text with the icons, and if there are no icons, we don't show anything.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Yeah. So you know, I would definitely change this icon. I was thinking to do something like the maybe the arrow we use here. So maybe this icon, like how you call that, greater than sign.
Yeah, chevron. That might be a nicer swap out for like default no icon instead of the home, because that could be confused with home. Yeah, if you could swap that out before the release, that would be nice.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, seeing so many home icons there is a little confusing.
Yeah, that was the thing that really stood out to me too. Yeah, that I was just like, nah, that. Yeah. I think chevrons or is it possible that we could, and I don't know if Clarity does something like this, but if we could make it can we? Let me get my thought out. Can we add a label or bubble to that icon that puts like the first character of the menu on it when it's default? So like that way there's some indicator that it's different, like it would say, like it would use the chevron icon and there'd be like a P in a label or something. I don't know.
I like that.
Some way to differentiate it when they don't explicitly set the icon.
Use the first letter from the label.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be helpful. I'm not sure how we can do that with
I don't know.
Clarity, but I'll look into that. That's a good idea.
Yeah, I think the chevron for the second like the L2 or N2, so it'd be like second level of navigation for the sidebar. I see Wayne's point though, adding some sort of reference to like this, like what we're nesting from. So it being the Jenkins plugin and then nesting underneath it. Because the highlight there on the left-hand side, I know that's Clarity UI's way of highlighting with that band on the left-hand side to the icon, but it is kind of hard to see that highlight because it's so close to the edge of the browser.
Right.
You know what? I think there might actually be a highlight that's like the whole area behind the icon that's like a complete color change. And that might be a better way of showing that highlight to the next level of nav, like the association.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. I was thinking to use a background highlight and have it the same as in the collapse navigations. So maybe that will be a little better. But you're right. It's absolutely hard to see close to the edge.
I have a quick question.
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead, Lindsay.
I was going to say, we could comment in the issue as to like some recommendations to try. Like Isha and I can look through Clarity and kind of highlight some suggestions. The question I have though is, would you rather get the PR in for this release, or like what is your timing on? What do you think? Yeah. Sorry, shake your head.
No, yeah, this navigation change isn't going in for this release. It's in 0.17. So yeah, we're not. Yeah, no time crunch.
Whatever is easy for you.
Yeah.
You can just Slack me comments, or you can just put in NPR. Whatever is easy.
Yeah, if you could send us the issue, like usually we like to expose the conversation in GitHub, so you can follow along the order of like how we determine the solution. If you could give us, or we can search through. Isha and I can look through GitHub. And
yeah, it's right there in the meeting notes. I think I put the link there.
Okay. Awesome.
It's Milan, can you share your screen again? I just had a question about the way it's structured.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see it in your background. So my question is the icon row all the way to the left. can you open it and see the text like you can right now? Like right now, I'm in the Octant dashboard and I can expand the menu and see the text. Is that possible?
The one on the very left.
Yeah, this one. Okay, so you can
Okay.
hover and see
Yeah.
it. I think I would actually like some feedback from the community members on the call regarding this. I'm wondering, instead of relying on icons, like why would you rely on icons instead of text? Because there's these like high level navigation on the left and sub navigation on the right. Like, could you just make it text and have it like drill down, kind of like how it is right now?
Right.
And maybe I can like mock it up and show you, but I think relying on icons creates some issues because people don't always understand what icons are. It might be a little bit harder for accessibility. So it might actually like hinder being able to navigate through the sidebar if it's like everything's hidden behind an icon. And I have to go through the extra burden of like hovering over the icon to see what it is on both like the navigation and the sub navigation. But that's I would be interested in seeing like what the community members have to say and like what they would, how they would, yeah.
No, that's a great comment. I'm with you on that, but I can explain to you why we decided to do it this way. There are a few reasons. One is the space, and then especially in the expanded view, if you have a lot of text in both, it feels that there's a little too much text. Like right now, imagine those are text items. And then one thing we tried, and then the other thing is this kind of seems to be a standard right now, especially for Electron apps. So if you look at the Slack, VS Code, to name a few, there's this trend to use the left navigation in icon mode, especially because those are the items that are not recently changed, and it's very quick to learn what they are with the tooltips and level. After 15 minutes of use, most users will remember what those are. Even the icons, like this dashboard icon, here is not ideal. So if we can find better, it would be good. But pretty soon after you start using it, you realize that's the namespace overview.
Yeah,
one thing we tried.
We do have a desire to enable custom like SVG icons there too. So
Right.
like our plan is to build out icons that convey exactly what that thing is without really having to like know that the speedometer icon is for namespaces and the suitcase icon, like they're just not great icons, right? So it's I think that's part of it too.
Right. And one thing that we tried to use both, and I have that somewhere recorded, I think, both icon and text underneath. And that was a little better from the information point of view, but it looked a little messy. So, there's trade-offs there, and I'm definitely open to try using only labels if you strongly feel that would be a good idea.
Yeah, we can brainstorm around it and see what works.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Sounds good. Thank you so much. This is the best feedback so far. I'm glad you're joining us on this call.
All right. So looking at the agenda, I think that's all we had for this week. So thanks again, everyone, for taking the time out of your day. And look out for that release coming up, 0.16.1. And we'll see you next week.
See you folks. Bye.